Quantum manifestation only works when you stop forcing. Part 1. The illusion of control. Have you ever wanted something so badly that it felt like your entire soul was screaming for it? Maybe it was that job, that partner, that healing moment, or that big break. You visualized, you scripted, you affirmed. You even created the perfect vision board, every detail meticulously placed, charged with passion and belief, and yet nothing. Days passed, weeks, maybe months. You pushed harder, forced more positive thinking, faked it even when you felt broken, and still nothing changed. That's the moment when most people give up. Or worse, they believe they've failed. They start blaming themselves or think the law of attraction doesn't work. But here's the wild part, that moment of surrender, that moment when you finally give up trying to force reality, is precisely when the magic begins. Why? Because true quantum manifestation isn't about bending reality to your will. It's about realigning yourself with a frequency that already exists and trusting that it's enough. In today's video, we're diving into a counterintuitive yet life-altering truth: the less you force, the faster you flow. This isn't just spiritual fluff. This is quantum science meeting spiritual awareness, a space where energy, frequency, and intention collide with surrender, silence, and trust. By the end of this video, you'll understand why letting go is more powerful than holding on, how quantum energy responds to non-resistance. The personal stories of people, including my own, who manifested breakthroughs by doing less, not more, and how you can finally step out of your own way and into your aligned destiny. Now let's go deeper into why your manifestation efforts might not be working, and why surrender is not giving up, but rather giving in to the flow. Part 2. Middle section: understanding the core energetics of manifestation. Section 1. The myth of effort-based manifestation. From childhood, we are taught that effort equals results. Study harder, and you'll get better grades. Work longer, and you'll earn more. Push more, and you'll succeed. This paradigm, while effective in some areas of life, becomes a limitation when applied to quantum manifestation. In the quantum field, energy is not moved by physical force alone. It is moved by alignment with your thoughts, emotions, and vibrational frequency. That's why people can work tirelessly for years and still feel stuck, while someone else who's calm, centered, and clear in their intention seems to magnetize success effortlessly. The idea that more effort equals more results is deeply rooted in the linear model of cause and effect, but manifestation doesn't follow a straight line. It follows resonance. Quantum fields don't respond to desperation. They respond to certainty, and that certainty doesn't come from force. It comes from stillness, presence, and clarity. Section 2. Resistance, the hidden saboteur. Let's talk about resistance. Most people don't even know they're operating from resistance. They confuse intense wanting with aligned intention, but those two are not the same. Wanting comes from lack. It's an energetic signal that screams, "I don't have this yet." And in the quantum field, what you emit, you attract. So the stronger your emotional attachment to needing something, the more you repel it. Think of it like trying to chase a balloon in the wind. The more you run after it, the further it floats away. But when you stand still and let the wind shift, sometimes the balloon floats right back into your hands. Resistance is anything that contradicts the flow of your desired outcome. Doubt, fear, anxiety, overthinking, urgency. These are not neutral states, they're energetic blocks that delay the delivery of what you're trying to manifest. To overcome resistance, you must become conscious of it. You must learn to pause and check your emotional signature. Does this action come from trust or fear, from surrender or control? Section 3, the power of non-attachment. Detachment is often misunderstood. People think it means not caring, but in truth, detachment is the highest form of care because it demonstrates trust. When you are non-attached, you're saying to the universe, I trust you, I trust the timing, I trust myself, and I know what's meant for me won't miss me. Non-attachment doesn't mean passivity. It means allowing. It means focusing on your internal state of being, your joy, peace, alignment, regardless of whether the physical reality has caught up yet. Manifestation speeds up when you're no longer obsessed with its arrival. Why? Because obsession emits lack, but neutrality joyful, anticipation emits abundance. Think of it as planting a seed. You don't dig it up every day to see if it's sprouting. You trust the process. You water it, you give it light, and then you wait. Section 4. Energetic alignment vs mental force. Here's a truth bomb most manifestors need to hear. You can't force your way into alignment. Too many people treat manifestation like a checklist. I said my affirmations. I wrote in my journal. I visualized my dream life every morning this week. Why isn't it here yet? Because the quantum field doesn't respond to your rituals. It responds to your resonance. Think of affirmations, vision boards, and scripting as tools. They're not the engine, they're the steering wheel. If the engine, your inner state, is full of self-doubt, shame, or scarcity, no amount of external effort can override that. You might be affirming abundance while vibrating with fear of bills. You might be visualizing love while secretly feeling unworthy of it. The field isn't fooled by words. It responds to what's underneath. So what does energetic alignment look like? You say, I am abundant, and actually feel it in your bones, not just repeat it with gritted teeth. You imagine a future and feel peace, not panic. You hold a desire and feel ease, not urgency. To create this alignment, honesty is essential. Instead of forcing positivity, allow authenticity. Sit with your real emotions. Not to indulge in negativity, but to integrate what's true. Because when you stop pretending, you start aligning. And when you align, you stop chasing. Because what you want is already drawn to who you've become. Section 5. Trusting the field, letting go of time and control. If you truly want to master manifestation, you must release your grip on time. Our human minds crave certainty. We want timelines. We want schedules. We want guarantees. When will it happen? Becomes a silent drumbeat in the back of our minds. But this obsession with when is one of the biggest blocks to receiving. The quantum field doesn't run on your clock. It runs on alignment. If you're energetically ready, calm, trusting, internally abundant, what you desire can materialize quickly. If you re-tense, grasping, or controlling, you slow the flow. Think of time like soil. You plant a seed, your desire, and then you let nature do its thing. You don't yank the seed out every day to check if it's growing. You water it with trust. You expose it to the light of gratitude, and you wait, not passively, but patiently. Most people don't trust the soil, so they overwater, they dig, they fret, and they inadvertently destroy what was already blooming. Trusting divine timing is not laziness, it's wisdom. It's knowing the universe sees 1,000 moves ahead. It's surrendering the illusion that your ego has to orchestrate every detail. When you let go of the how and when, you open the door to infinite possibilities. You move from limitation to magic. You stop micromanaging God, and often in that quiet surrender, the impossible unfolds. Section 6. Emotional coherence and heart-centered manifestation. Quantum manifestation is not a mind game. It's a heart game. Your heart emits a magnetic field that is thousands of times more powerful than your brain. That's not poetic, it's measurable science. And when your heart and mind are in emotional coherence, meaning your thoughts and feelings are in harmony, your entire energetic field becomes a beacon. Gratitude, joy, love. These are not just nice emotions, they're high-frequency states that sync your nervous system, calm your brain waves, and tune your field into divine intelligence. Let's simplify this. If you want to attract love, become loving. If you want abundance, embody gratitude now, before the money arrives. If you want peace, radiate it internally, even in the midst of chaos. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to suppress your bad days. But the more time you spend in coherent states, the more stable your signal becomes, and the quantum field responds accordingly. So stop obsessing over the perfect vision board. Stop chasing the next method. Instead, sit quietly. Place your hand over your heart. Breathe deeply and ask, what am I feeling right now? What would love do in this moment? What would the abundant version of me choose? Heart-centered manifestation is not about getting more. It's about remembering more of who you truly are. Section 7, embodying the frequency before it arrives. Here is the golden key that unlocks timelines. You must become the version of you who already has what you desire before it physically shows up. This isn't about faking it or living in denial. It's about alignment. It's about collapsing the illusion of separation between who you are and who you're becoming. Most people operate like this. Once I have the money, I'll feel secure. Once I meet the right person, I'll feel loved. Once I land the dream job, I'll feel worthy. But in quantum reality, that order is reversed. You must first feel secure, feel loved, feel worthy. That inner state creates the outer shift. So how do you embody the frequency? Dress the way your future self would. Dress not for status, but for alignment. Speak as they would speak, with grace, certainty, and clarity. Make decisions from that elevated self, even when it's uncomfortable. This is not pretending, it's practicing. It's tuning your instrument so it can play the right song. It's adjusting your internal compass so reality knows where to deliver your desires. When you live as if it's already done, reality rearranges itself to match that blueprint. Section 8, final thoughts on surrender as power. Surrender is not weakness. It's the most courageous act of all. To surrender doesn't mean to give up your dreams. It means to release your attachment to the form and timing of those dreams. It means you stop wrestling with the universe and instead flow with it. You trust that the intelligence which spins galaxies and beats your heart also knows how to orchestrate your desires. You stop forcing outcomes and start listening, really listening to the nudges of your intuition, to the whispers of peace, to the knowing that you are already whole. In this space of surrender, you don't become passive. You become powerfully receptive. You act from alignment. You move from joy. You allow the magic to unfold on its own terms. Because ultimately, quantum manifestation is not about bending the universe to your will. It's about tuning yourself so clearly, so cleanly, that reality has no choice but to reflect the frequency of your highest self. Let go. Breathe, return to stillness. There, in that silence, everything you've ever desired is already waiting for you. Part 3, conclusion, the final lesson, memorable ending. Summary of key principles. Effort is not the same as alignment. Resonance matters more than repetition. Resistance often disguises itself as urgency. Be still and aware. Detachment is trust in action. Let go of obsessive energy. Mental force is less powerful than energetic coherence. Embody the state you desire. Time control equals delay. Trust divine timing. The heart is the real magnet. Feel joy, peace, and gratitude deeply. Become the version of you who already has it, now, not later. Surrender is power. Cooperate with the universe, not against it. Spiritual takeaway: you are a co-creator, not a controller. The quantum field does not reward the most desperate or the most determined. It reflects the clearest, most aligned signal. That signal comes from trust, presence, and emotional coherence. When you stop forcing, you allow space for the miraculous. Affirmations to close with: I trust the divine timing of my life. I align with the highest version of myself. What I desire is already on its way. I surrender control and embrace flow. I am energetically open to all that is meant for me. Let these truths settle in your heart. Revisit them not just when things feel stuck, but especially when things begin to flow. Because when you stop forcing and start aligning, that's when manifestation becomes effortless. Stay grateful, stay aligned. And always remember, you were never meant to chase, you were meant to receive.